Welcome to Stories of History. I'm Virgilio, and today we're going to a place where love and history kind of collide. The Milvian Bridge in Rome. You've probably seen pictures of it covered with all those love locks. It's a tradition where couples, they attach padlocks to the bridge and throw the key into the Tiber River. It's pretty charming to see. But beneath all that romantic stuff, there's a story of clashing armies, a huge power struggle that really shaped the Western world, and a dream. A vision that became like this cornerstone of religious history. The year is 312 AD. The Roman Empire, which was once this, symbol of unity and strength, is falling apart. There's all this internal strife. And a young general named Constantine is fighting for control. The upcoming battle at Milvian Bridge is going to decide his destiny and the fate of the entire empire. But before we get into the battle itself, let's unpack the legend that surrounds it. Okay, so legend has it that on the eve of the battle, Constantine had this powerful vision. In the sky, the Chi symbol appears. That's the first two letters of Christ in Greek. A voice, some say it was divine, said, "In this sign conquer." So Constantine, feeling super inspired, told his soldiers to put the Tyros symbol on their shields. Then they marched into battle and were victorious. It's a very dramatic story, right? It makes it seem like Constantine's victory was ordained by God. But throughout history, attributing victory to divine intervention was a powerful tactic. It could make a ruler seem more legitimate and can rally people to their cause. Some historians actually think that this vision might be more myth than reality. Like maybe this story was made up later to make Constantine look better and to strengthen his authority. Because think about it, claiming you have God's support is a great way to increase your standing, especially during times of turmoil. So let's put the legend aside for a second and look at the historical context. What actually caused this pivotal battle at Milvian Bridge? To understand that, we need to understand the political problems that were happening in the Roman Empire. Imagine the empire is like a giant pizza, but instead of cutting it into slices for a party, it's divided into 4 pieces, each ruled by a different emperor. That's the tetrarchy.
It was a system designed to bring stability to the empire after years of chaos. But as you can imagine, sharing power isn't always peaceful. These emperors, each with their own ambitions, were always competing for more power. They wanted a bigger slice of the pizza, so to speak. And that's where Constantine comes in. He controlled 2 of these slices, Britain and Gaul. That's modern-day France. But Constantine was very ambitious. He wasn't happy with just 2 slices. He wanted to rule the whole empire. And that meant he had to fight his rivals, including a powerful tetrarch named Maxentius. The Maxentius wasn't exactly a team player either. He basically said he was the supreme emperor, completely ignoring the whole idea of the tetrarchy. This was a direct challenge to Constantine's authority, and Constantine wasn't going to just let it go. The tension between them kept growing until it finally led to the showdown at Milvian Bridge. This battle would decide the future of Rome. Okay, so we've got these 2 ambitious leaders, right? Constantine and Maxentius. They're locked in this power struggle, and everything's leading up to this huge confrontation that's going to completely change the Roman world. Now, the story about the vision adds a bit of mystery. But the Battle of Milvian Bridge wasn't just about divine intervention. It was about military strategy, political maneuvering, and pure ambition. Constantine, even though his army might have been smaller, was a brilliant tactician. He chose the battlefield very strategically, forcing Maxentius' army to fight with the Tiber River behind them. It was like a classic pincer move. Their escape route was cut off, and they were at a huge disadvantage. Constantine's forces, who were known for being disciplined and well-trained, pressed their advantage. They pushed Maxentius' army toward the river. And in all the chaos, Maxentius either fell or was pushed into the Tiber. He drowned in the middle of the fighting. The victory at Milvian Bridge was a turning point. Constantine got rid of a major rival and secured his control over a big chunk of the Roman Empire. But the story doesn't end there. This victory wasn't just a military win, it was also a turning point for Christianity. Remember, at this time, Christianity was still a relatively new religion. It was often persecuted and viewed as suspicion by the Roman authorities. But Constantine, being the pragmatist, that he was recognized how much influence the Christian community was gaining. He saw a chance to strengthen his power by aligning himself with this new faith. Just a year after the Battle of Milvian Bridge in 313 AD, Constantine issued the Edict of Milan. This was a groundbreaking declaration that granted religious freedom to everyone in the Roman Empire, including Christians. This edict changed everything. It ended centuries of persecution and allowed Christianity to thrive. Now, some people believe that Constantine genuinely converted to Christianity because of his experience before the battle. Others think it was a smart political move, a way to unite a vast and diverse empire under one belief system. It's a debate that historians still discuss today. Regardless of his true motives, Constantine's support of Christianity had a huge impact on history. It transformed Christianity from a persecuted group to a state-sanctioned religion.
This eventually led to its dominance in the Roman world and beyond. So this bridge, the site of a fierce battle, also witnessed the beginning of a new era, an era that would see the rise of a religion that still shapes billions of lives today. It shows how seemingly isolated events can have huge consequences that ripple through time. They leave a permanent mark on human history. So let's fast forward from this pivotal moment in history to the present day. Let's go back to those love locks that are all over the Milvian Bridge today. Like we talked about earlier, the tradition of putting love locks on the bridge was made popular by a novel. This turned this ancient landmark into a modern symbol of romantic commitment. It's interesting how a fictional story could start a real-life tradition that so many people love. But like many things, the lovelock phenomenon had some unintended consequences. The weight of thousands and thousands of locks started to threaten the structure of this historic bridge. Imagine all that metal constantly exposed to the elements. It was pulling on the railings and even the bridge itself. The city of Rome had to do something to protect this historical treasure. They tried different things. They installed chains for the locks and even tried to ban them altogether. They were trying to balance the sentimental value of the tradition with the need to protect the bridge. It's a strange dilemma, isn't it? This ancient bridge, which saw the clash of empires and the rise of Christianity, now faces a new challenge. A challenge that came from love and the human desire to leave a mark on the world. It shows how history is always evolving and how the past and present are connected in unexpected ways. The Milvian Bridge, with its layers of history, legend, and modern-day romance, reminds us that the past is never really gone. It continues to shape our present, influencing our beliefs, our actions, and even how we express love. So from Roman legions to love locks, a Milvian Bridge is like this reminder that history sticks around. It's a place where the past and the present meet, and it makes us think about how events big and small shape our world. Let's recap what we've learned about the Milvian Bridge. We started with those love locks, a symbol of romance hanging on this ancient structure. Then we went back to 312 AD to the eve of a battle that would change the Roman Empire forever. We talked about a legend of Constantine's vision, that Chiro symbol in the sky telling him to conquer in Christ's name. But when we looked closer, we saw that this amazing story might be more myth than reality. Maybe it was made up later to make Constantine look better and to justify his rule. It shows how history is full of myths and legends, stories that we love, but that we need to look at critically to separate fact from fiction. The real story of Constantine's rise to power is about political skill, strategic alliances, and ambition. He saw that the Christian community was growing more influential, and he decided to side with them. It wasn't necessarily because he was deeply religious, but because it was a smart move to strengthen his control over the empire. And this alliance, which happened after the Battle of Milvian Bridge, changed history. It led to the rise of Christianity, changing it from a persecuted group into the main religion of the Roman world. It's a great example of how a single event can have huge and long-lasting effects, shaping empires and beliefs for centuries. The Milvian Bridge, with all its history, legend, and modern romance, reminds us that the past is never really gone. It connects us to those who came before us and influences our beliefs, our actions, and even how we show love. That's it for this deep dive into stories of history. Keep questioning, keep exploring, and keep those minds engaged until next time.